bullshit.
He stayed away from Taylor and Dodge as much. I mean, Taylor and Stewart as much.
And what happened? He ended up dead.
Man. And now we've moved on from rope technology. We're putting gun technology back, and we're back to whip technology.
So
but we found the fatal flaw with it. You have to hold on to the whip for
the police officer shoots a gun, misses him. Taylor then flees, and he flees out of the museum back into the city square again.
Where we see the worst orangutan mask ever.
There's a bad one.
The streets are very crowded, and I didn't notice if it was the same one. We do see an orangutan in this crowd scene.
Finally, yeah.
And he's got some people around him. I would like to go back and look and see if it's the same one that we saw at the church.
I don't think it would be, but I don't know.
But anyway, so there's
from their point of view, that's only been 3 minutes since that happened. I'm sure he's still in the church with the body.
But this is the first orangutan we see in the streets.
What would you do with the body, the orangutan, the casket opening, going, I want in on this too. Wait for me.
So he runs through. He begins to run through a crowd, and this is the first time we've actually seen. I mean, outside of the market, that we actually begin to see the sense that there's kind of a crowd forming, a mob, a group of people.
It's a different world that we see when he steps back outside. What has occurred before he went into the museum has created a stir, and there are people there.
There's chaos, and the ape. One of the 8 police officers throws a whip and is successful.
Around the neck.
Gets it around his neck and then drags him a couple of feet.
And then let's go.
So immediately, we can talk about that you hold on to, you let go. If you were dragged behind a horse with a whip around your neck, would that not almost certainly kill you?
Trying to crush your windpipe. It depends. Like, I guess he's
holding on to it,
so the pressure isn't on his neck. It's on his... the point right here where his first hand is, because you can all see what I'm doing on this podcast.
That is some intense sandburn. Like, I was
ooh, doubt.
Ow. Ow, ow, ow. Not that he's already, chafed and raw anyway.
And especially Charlton with his space thong on.
Yeah.
You know?
And then when he gets in that fight, though, it is not Charlton Heston.
there is a moment, too, when he falls to the ground so we had Charlton Heston boob. We definitely get Charlton Heston butt cheek.
We do in this particular moment. Yeah, when he drags him a few feet for sure.
I don't know if those people that were attracted to Charlton at that time were just clamoring for more almost nudity of Charlton, but they got a lot of titular activities.
I doubt they discussed it. Did they? Now, when we go back to the previous minutes where he's sitting there with Zira and Cornelius, and clearly, he's not his apron or his blanket is not covering anything.
Mm-hmm.
That had to be intentional. I'm not really sure these.
I'm sure these weren't.
Are meant to be intentional. I think he was just kind of running in the moment. So he's dragged a few feet. He's able to actually get out of the whip, and then another ape comes up with a whip, throws it at him. He grabs the whip and pulls the ape off the horse.
Because that's what would happen. He wouldn't let go of the whip.
It's the first time that he's actually grabbed a whip and actually pulled somebody off of a horse.
All I know is at this point now in your construction of this world, all the things come together. He's Indiana Jones' father.
Descendant or father?
No, he has to somehow be his father. The whole Sean Connery thing is bullshit.
The time is cyclical, so we go with Star Wars. Star Trek comes way back after this because there's a Star Trek.
Charlton Heston and the Temple of Baboon.
Because of isn't there a Star Trek Planet of the Apes crossover as well?
Yeah.
I seem to remember you telling it.
Well, that was a Green Lantern.
That was Green Lantern.
I thought for sure there was a Star Trek.
No, there's a Green Lantern Star Trek crossover.
Yeah, I know there's that too.
Yeah.
So you guys are my comic book source for all things.
We'll figure it out, because if he's not the descendant, then he has to come. This has to happen before the 40s and all that. I can't figure it out.
All I know is if I caught a whip in my hand, I'd be crying. You think...
first of all, you cry, and then you go, did everybody see that? I just did that.
That was cool.
Somebody tell me they were recording that. No? Screw you guys.
I want to put this on YouTube.
This is the coolest thing I'll ever do.
But they just treat it like such a normal thing.
Yeah, like everybody just grabs a whip out of the air.
Well,
have you tried to throw a whip before?
Yeah.
You got to have some distance. You can't just be right up on somebody and throw it. I mean, I'd whack myself in the face if I did it.
I thought about using whips in the midst of a crowd.
Yeah.
Because, once again, you're taking it back.
And you're going to hit somebody behind you. You have to have room around.
What was the little boy in the museum's name?
You have to have at least 5 feet between you and your sex partner.
You hit Quintus right in the eye.
Oh, sorry, what?
that caught Todd up.
holy crap, that just comes.
Todd wants to get down that.
If you're going to use a whip,
Yes.
you got to have at least 5 feet between you and your sex partner.
And a safe word.
I guess depending on the length of the whip.
Parents, if you have your children in the car listening to this podcast, I'm sorry you tuned into the wrong podcast for a moment.
But you can't effectively get a whip off
Unless you
without a little bit of distance.
Unless you use dirty words.
All I could think was if I'm using that whip, that's when Quintus walks out right behind me and I'm going, and it's, and I'm, I've hit the kid and then I hit.
He's got 2 eyes, right? He only needs 1.
But yeah, no, the whip action in this had to be they had to be very careful with that.
Yeah,
they had to. Otherwise they were, and I'm sure they added those sounds later. I'm sure if we go back and watch those sequences with whips, the whip is just like wiggling around like a noodle, and they put in that.
I'm sure the whip is nothing more than some kind of like, satin fabric.
So
exactly.
That if it even touches you, it doesn't hurt you.
Yeah. It's like, oh, hey, thanks.
Hey, do it again.
I know, exactly.
Wow.
Sorry.
Apicurky is my safe word.
Oh, I'm sorry. This episode completely has taken a path that I never foresaw it going down.
No. Well, I mean, it is almost a new year. We're getting a little punchy. We can't wait for 2018.
Exactly.
No.
Wow. So, let's see. Tomorrow will
be our last episode before the new year.
All right. So, we're definitely going to have a toast at the end of tomorrow.
I guess so.
I think
if only we had alcohol around us.
Oh, wait. Hang on. Maybe
clink,
we do.
Clink, clink, clink. Hey, listen. It's alcohol noise.
What?
So
no.
I can't think of anything else.
I think that's it for me. How about you, Richard?
I'm good.
All right. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this 8-minute. Get her done. We want to do our plugs. Go ahead and head to MotAapes.com to find all our social media contacts. You can email us at podcast@MotAapes.com. You can find Richard at Zeus.com, and you can find Todd pointing at his crotch right now. And me, I will be playing Xbox. So until tomorrow's episode, for Richard and Todd, I'm Sean. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
The minute of the apes. The